2024. What a crazy year, honestly. Even though nothing much happened, I can still say it's kind of crazy because a lot of things did actually happen. And, as always, we're gonna, review my year, how it was for me personally. And if you want to, we can have like a little discussion on how your guys' year was as well. My personally, my year was mid. It wasn't too good. It wasn't too bad. It had its ups and downs, and that's sort of what I'm gonna talk about. So of course, starting with the legendary January. Honestly, the month sucked dick. Nothing against January, man, because it's like the start of the year, and all that stuff. But like personally, I just haven't really felt any kind of spirit in January, especially because, goodness gracious, the way how it was structured wasn't really, my favorite. And this is because I'm actually recording this like a third fucking time because my audio's all crashed. Anyways, I entered an internship. And that's basically the start of the year. I entered an internship, and it doesn't really sound that bad in like a, first degree. But as I said in my 2023 review video, I actually got into like a new class with new people and whatever, which was basically just preparing you for later work and whatever kind of dog shit. It's just like a special thing that's only like in Germany, kind of school thing to just get like some kind of graduation if you really like messed up school. I failed, by the way. I didn't get like no graduation, so I completely got fucked in my ass. But essentially, it turned out that I did actually have to work and like I was essentially forced to do an internship somewhere. Also being held at cock at gunpoint, because if you didn't do it, there's like really bad law in Germany when it comes to like school and whatever, because you're forced to do school. That's law. And if you don't do it, well, have fun doing community service, I guess, for like 80 hours. Also because you didn't go for like 2 weeks. What kind of law is that? Like actually. And also, this is like not just me flaming school. Like I know school is important to some extent. To put it in perspective, it makes Germany law sound so much more retarded when you say age of consent in Germany is 14. Like, Jesus Christ. So anyways, enough flaming the law. I had an internship, and this internship in like the first week went alright, I would say. But it still kind of took a toll on my mental health and overall well-being, because the hours were way too long and how much I had to actually work. I was usually more used to being, in a 6-hour shift rather than a 9-hour shift. Motherfucker, 9 hours, I'm not sustaining all that. If I were required to work like one more week, I think I would have actually committed suicide. Though it's unlikely, I would have probably debated it pretty hard. Anyways, the people that I work with were one old guy and one young guy. The old guy, also, all of them were like some basic ass motherfuckers. Like they were mega basic. Like fat, old, like beer drinking motherfucker. Like I don't even exactly know what to think of that. Anyways, this old guy was a really horny one, to say the least. He always talked about young, blonde, fat ass, fat tits. I don't want to hear your like stories and what kind of shit you jerk off to at night. I just want to work and get it behind me. Anyways, that's sort of, the introduction to the people I had to work with and was forced to work with. And because of the lackluster sleep, it really took a toll on me when, I was sitting in the same fucking van for like the 80th time, being more sleep deprived every single time I enter the van. It doesn't really help the cause. And, people always say, well, I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm a bit EP. Bro, I was not EP, I was fucking dying. I was dead in the van. I was a corpse. I think my, like, bloodstream BPM was actually running on, like, 0, because I genuinely thought I flatlined multiple times. So I essentially pulled, like, 5 all-nighters with, like, an hour of sleep in between, and that's basically how I slept for 18 hours in the weekends. That is not healthy, by any means. I think that's really unhealthy, actually. Anyhow, the first week went okay, though it kind of made me uncomfortable a lot of times, because I had to go there every single day, and I was forced to. And if you know me, I don't like not being in control of things. I really like to be in control. And if I'm not in control, I literally go crazy. Which is why I genuinely cannot, like, imagine myself working in, like, an actual workstation, like, waking up and going somewhere. Like, I would do, like, some kind of, like, 3-hour work, and not once a week, like, 1 week full, and then, like, a month free. That's because whilst I do want to support my grandma and all that stuff, and, like, also, like, I don't need to work that much, because I generally don't not need the money that you would get off working, like, a 9 to 5. And that's because I don't care about fucking cash that much, really. As nice as it sounds for like most people to have like a bit of spare cash laying around everywhere, just in case, I don't really like to have any of that shit. So, like expensive shit, I'm not a luxury person, really. So that's what I basically mean by I don't need the cash. But I would like to have like some kind of 200 like bucks paying job per month, because I kind of want to get the extra cash to support my grandma, and just in general, like I will never live alone. Like I don't know why I would. I can scream around anywhere, and I'm basically free to do whatever even if I'm living with someone that is my grandma. Then at around Wednesday, we went to this one location where we had to fix a double, triple, quadruple, I don't fucking know what the lock count was exactly, but I was watching from a distance and kind of doing nothing because there is literally nothing to do besides the occasional trash pickup. And then this old fucking retard comes up to me and basically tells me that, you know, what am I supposed to become? I'm just sitting around here, at least come closer. You fucking disappointment or something. I don't really know what he said, I honestly forgot, but something along those lines. And then he told me to fuck off and, you know, take my little bike and then, you know, piss off. Just because he's annoyed, I guess. I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I supposed to think? Like, this wasn't anything serious to me. This internship was a joke, really. And honestly, like a huge waste of my 2 weeks. And then they actually threw me out. The boss, you know, you would usually have to suck the boss's penis to, you know, get on good terms, but I'm not doing all that, so I just said, this guy's telling me this and that, and I'm like, oh well, you know, I guess I gotta fuck off now. And that's when I went back home. Honestly, for the better. I said this in like a previous video that I honestly am glad they threw me out because it was such a mental pain to go there every single day. And because of the sleep deprivedness, it wasn't working any better. Like, I was seriously suffering mentally and physically trying to get this internship done. And that's how I sort of realized I am literally not made to fucking work. I might have the endurance, I might have the power in whatever to work, but I definitely don't have the like actual mental strength to pull through like an entire 6 months of like daily work, especially for that amount of time. It would suck the soul out of me. I would not even be myself at that point. But that kind of concludes the month. I don't think anything else happened. Also, I went bald on the 16th of January. My hair is fully grown back. It's pretty long as well in less than a year. I forgot honestly how long my hair was back in the days when I didn't go bald. But to be honest, I appreciate my bald times, not because it looked necessarily too good. I look fine actually, but really long hair fits me more. And just in general, you know, there's benefits to when you're bald. You might not look as good, but you're definitely feeling better. You can see more, you know, the hair doesn't constantly poke your fucking eyes. But that's sort of January. Also found out about this one girl in my class that I found was pretty cool, but honestly, upon later inspection, I don't know if I would have gotten along with her all that well. Mainly because she was into K-poop, and, you know, I'm not really much into Korean guys, as I was gonna say cis-straight gender man, whatever, but that's fake news, honestly. The rest of the month was like a nothing burger, essentially. I worked on my little Discord bot, and that's about it. So that concludes January. I don't think anything else happened. February, I don't really see anything notable. Like, I don't really remember anything notable that happened in February this year. I just did my usual. I played Beat Saber. I did this, I did that, but nothing much else. Oh yeah, and I had like a really tough fight with my girly on the 2nd of January, and just in general, like the January thing was just kind of I just remembered some things by the way. I couldn't sleep as well, like at all, but I had like a decent skill boost in Beat Saber. Anyways, on February, I realized I'm actually like, I like girls, you know, I'm straight, so I realized that, and I was like, well, that's insane, you know, so I like girls quite a lot in February, but they were low-key fucking my ass. Like, I mean, as much as I like a good girl, or a girl in general, sometimes I don't think I should be around certain people. Like, you know, if I'm like around someone that I really like, but they don't like me back, there's literally no point in having a conversation. There's literally no point in being friends with them if I can't have that, you know, basically. I can also kind of give it out as like an advice, because guys, like boys and girls, if you like someone and they don't like you back, and it's very apparent they don't give a fuck, most likely. I mean, they probably give a fuck about you as a friend, but not like as a relationship partner, whatever. Don't like talk to them. If they give you hints that they like you, like for example, they talk nice about you, they call you cute and here and there, that's pretty cool. You know, that could work, no matter what kind of situation it might be. But it just like if there's like no signs, they kind of just show disinterest and they've never called you like a good compliment or whatever, I don't think you should really stay or stick around or whatever. Just fuck off, really. Just like unfriend them and then bye bye. And on this 22nd of February, I had a little schizo post I made in my diary because I was really unwell, and that kind of like happened and went on for like a pretty long time in 2024. And honestly, one of the main schemes and things I've realized is when I was in a relationship and whatever, I've been more unwell than if I was out of the relationship, because really there was some freedom, like a freedom factor that I was given when I was out of a relationship. I don't really have to care about someone's feelings necessarily and then do all that stuff. Like it's a very complicated situation, and especially if like in a relationship, like you have to really focus yourself on the relationship, otherwise it's gonna fall apart. And I think if you are in a relationship and you really value it as much as I do the relationship usually, because I'm always very picky and whatever, you should really try everything out before like leaving the relationship behind if you think it's not gonna work. Because a lot of the time it does work, you just have to try harder. And just because you fall out of love with someone for like 2 minutes doesn't mean you should break up. I think even if you're like not really much in love anymore, I think you should be still trying out some stuff. And it's like, let's just say it's like 6 months since you last felt like anything for that person, and I guess you can go, you know, it's not really worth it that much anymore, but like still try out, you know, the possible ways and how it could go, because that's just how it is, you know. And just one of the main important things is like, don't fucking storm into relationships. Like, why are you guys so fucking desperate? I don't understand it. I mean, even when I was single, like I wasn't this desperate for fucking penis or vagina, you know. It wasn't, you know. Also, main thing in 2024 is my music taste has been getting worse or better depending on who you're asking. But for me personally, I've been listening to a lot of crazy shit, and some of that just scratches my brain, like some inner penetration that I so desperately require and need. But yeah, that's sort of what I've been doing mainly to keep myself sane, you know, to keep myself healthy. And I think for everyone, even if you like think it's kind of cringe to listen to like really insane shit that might sound kind of bad on paper, but you still enjoy, I think you should just enjoy shit. Like, let people enjoy things type of deal. You know, I don't think you should hold yourself back just because of someone saying, well, this song sucks. Like, who gives a fuck at that point, you know? Like, there's so many people on this planet, so just like, out of 8 billion people, one person shouldn't like change your opinion or like your music taste or your personality. Oh man. And Luderpop, my dear friend, and also very gay friend, I must say. Friction burns from edging. That's what I'm reading right now in my diary. Oh my goodness. At least from Luderpop, I didn't say that shit. Yeah, in March I was debating some things to make like videos on specific topics, or like a game that I was playing. It's called Shoot and Eat Noobs. The community is questionable for the most part, but it's actually better now than before, because the community beforehand was so fucking edgy, bro. It's still a bit edgy, but it's like it's better now than before. And so I never made the video because I don't know, having like Shoot and Eat Noobs footage on your screen, it's just so overstimulating. Like I can't even put it into words. It's just so cancer penis. Like I don't even know. Also in March I had a little meltdown over Luderpop's changing, because he's changed into being like strictly homosexual. I'm not gonna really like say as to why that is, but a lot of things happen, I suppose. And then in the same month I also had a little bit of relationship issues, which is originally why I left her in the first place. But you know, it's like, I don't know if you ever heard this saying, it's like a meme, you know, everything reminds me of her, and that's literally me. Like everything that I think about and see reminds me of her, for fuck's sake. This fucking bedsheet that I have on right now reminds me of her, fuck's sake. And yeah, there's like a lot of shit that happened. It just overall, I think this girly pop has decreased my mental health by like at least 100%. But it's also been holding me stable in like a couple aspects of my life, though I'm not too sure if it outweighs the amount of pain and agony I felt during the relationship. And just in general, I've just continuously had more meltdowns in March, mainly because of my realization of how bad my life actually is. Like in a nutshell, I'm basically sitting on my laptop. So there's like really nothing much to say when it comes to my life. I like to make things, surely, and that's why I'm scripting, making games, you know, working on projects that I find quite interesting. But besides that, like, brother, most of the shit is like fucking cancer. Like most of the shit I can't even synchronize with in my head as to why I'm even doing it. Like I've had this one little conversation with my friend, and I've basically said I just kind of want to lay down. You know, I just kind of want to like lay down and yeah, I kind of just want to lay down, you know, not really do much. Not even watch like a video or something, just lay down. No consumption, just like pure like bliss and quiet, peace and quiet essentially. That was only recently though, like in December. I also in case you're wondering, it's currently the 25th of December, so I'm currently recording this a little bit earlier than when I'm going to post this video. Because it's a yearly tradition that I, you know, turn back and I basically say, hey, hi, how's it going, guys? It's me, a cozy. And I'm back with another video, guys. And then I, like, yap for 20 hours. You know, my usual content. But sort of, you know, what concludes March. was just a pure mental breakdown the month essentially. I don't think much else happened in March. Though April was pretty interesting. I didn't post much on this in my, diary and whatever, but I did made a game called Repeated Memory. It's currently in Roblox if you want to play it. There's a lot of things I can say about it, but really, if you want to know what the game is about and whatever, just go to like floor 3 and then like read the big note that I left there. My username, by the way, is the same as my YouTube username, but there's a big note I left there. So if you want to know shit about the game, you can just go there and read it. But I'm not gonna explain all of this in this video because the video's gonna be like 30 minutes long if I do explain it. So on 420, one of my friends, Pixelets, actually lost his virginity. Pretty interesting though. I did lose my virginity this year as well. So I guess this is the year of sex as well, I'm guessing. It's kind of interesting, though, having, like, a discussion about sex. We're gonna talk about that shit later when it's in the appropriate month. When I got this news, though, I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, we're both these people who, like, thought we're never gonna have sex, we're never gonna have any kind of girl on our dicks, and we ended up doing a lot of sex. But yeah, I released, like, 2 games in April. Start Farlands, I think, or was that in March? I forgot, honestly. You can check that yourself. Okay, I released these 2 games. I worked on a lot of other games this year, but, like, bro, I don't know what happened. I know that 2 of the games were just kind of unfinished. Like, I didn't really have enough scripting knowledge to, like, properly script it. I thought I did, but then I realized, shit, like, I actually need to know so much more in order to be, like, able to, like, script this shit. Like, there's so much things in scripting that you just seem to not know and understand. Like, if someone says, I know scripting, they're bluffing, bro. They don't know shit. Imagine saying I know how to script and not even knowing what a meta table is. But there's people that are actually scripters without quotations, and then there's people who are scripters with quotations. I personally count myself in as like the middleman for scripting. I think I'm fine as is, but like I could be way better. It's just you can do so much improvement on your tech essentially and how you're scripting it, because scripting is also very much IQ related. Essentially, how you script the things. It's like not even learning scripting in general. Like you'll find ways to script things, but usually the ways on how you do it could be just so much improved. Like there's so much different ways of scripting something, and there's one like way for everything that is like super like compressed and whatever. It's just so interesting, which is why I'm scripting in the first place. I find scripting like a very interesting concept. And yeah, in April I realized, Jesus fucking Christ, this bitch is getting too much on my nerves. Like when you're in like a relationship, like I mentioned earlier, you have to commit really hard, and at that point sometimes I just wish I didn't care. Sometimes I wish I just left straight out, but there's like a lot of things that kept me from doing that. It was basically like a hate-love situation, I kind of loved her, but I kind of hated her as well. Yeah, but in general, I don't think May was that interesting. I think I made some videos in the time span of like March in between June, but like in general, those months haven't been really that interesting. I just updated my games continuously, added new stuffs, played around with some other shit, continued improving my bot. That's kind of it, I think. I ate a really like hot chili, like it killed my mouth essentially, like it slaughtered my fucking mouth. Oh well. Also in June I started working on my tower defense game. I just never finished it because really, like I said earlier, I'm missing the correct scripting knowledge to do so. Anyways, June wasn't all too interesting besides that one thing that I worked on a new project. Also, one of my friends, Bitten3, actually was spending a lot of times with like random fucking retards, and it was kind of frustrating for me because I do like having like conversations with them and whatever. And it's just, I like to talk to my old homies. I don't want to always spend time with new people. It's sometimes I just want to go back to the basics and just kind of spend time with my old guys. And the only reason why I wasn't able to join the VCs or whatever is because they weren't comfortable with me being there. But how about you just man up, shut your ass, and go through it? Like, goddamn, these people are calling themselves men just because they're uncomfy with me being there. If I was uncomfy all the goddamn time and I would let that dictate what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, I would be dead. On July 31st was a pretty eventful day. Also the same day that my grandpa fucking collapsed and died like 2 years ago. I played Beat Saber multiplayer. I can't play Beat Saber multiplayer anymore, by the way, because my build is broken, I think. I'm not too sure. It's pretty depressing though. I wish I could just play Beat Saber without having to shit myself and like be lonely and all that stuff, because I really like to be in multiplayer lobbies just to fuck around. Like, damn. Anyhow, on August 23rd, we actually met up, me and the girl. Anyways, the girl was like over for like 2 days or something. But the love spike I got from this August meetup was quickly demolished as I was continuing my life. Anyways, the only other things that happened in September weren't really all that much of importance. So I kind of skip over this month and we're gonna move on to the next thing. Anyways, somewhere in November, I had another little breakdown over Mrs. Girly Pop, and continuously I'm killing myself essentially. Also, I like graduated somewhere, I think September or July, I'm not too sure though. And yeah, ever since then I've been just kind of sitting. I've just been sitting around and going outside occasionally just to get some fresh air. And really this lifestyle is sustainable for me because I do have things and goals in mind and whatever. It's not like I'm just sitting around 24/7 watching YouTube, you know. It's like I'm trying to make something, I do something, kind of, you know, and I move on forward. And that's sort of what I've been doing in general, you know. But really, the doom that I receive from sitting around is pretty hardcore. Like, if I could, like, work somewhere, so 1 week in a month, that's like 3 hours per day until Friday, I would probably take that deal, you know, just to get some money in, to, like, afford a bit more things, whatever. But, you know, to get, like, a good healthy diet going on that actually does keep me full and keeps me concentrated and all that stuff, because at the moment, I'm just living off whatever kind of shit I have in my fridge. Which isn't the healthiest, by the way. A lot of my cells don't work as much as I would like them to work, and I noticed this. It's a very bad effect, and that's sort of what I've been suffering with, just stale cells. You know, I've been working out though, so you know, I get the blood flow in my veins and my arms and my legs and whatever, but it's not really like as good as just having a good diet. You know, if I had like a really healthy diet, I don't think I would have struggles with anything. But yeah, in general, the rest of the year wasn't really all too interesting. I did my updates, I did my this, I did my that, I worked on my projects, you know, got close to my goals eventually, and really all we're left with now, essentially, for my life, I don't know how it's about you, let me know in the comment section down below, it's just a meh life. Anyways, I've been getting also very invested this month with very cute little animals, Bunny, Lop Bunny, Grant, Lopper, and whatever kind of cats I can find. So yeah, very cute, very silly, I must say. But that doesn't really heal my depression. I think, you know, the main thing I'm doing at the moment is just chart mapping. I like mapping. Beat Saber, let's go. But I also kind of want to be done with like a map when I'm done with it. Like, I don't want to continue working on it for like 8 fucking hours just so I can make the best map possible. Like, I just want to skip the dog shit essentially and just move on, you know. It's like, it's so fucking dumb and stupid. Alright, before the normal video continues, and I mean, it's just part of the normal video, but for me it's not, because I'm recording this on the 1st of January actually, so when I'm going to post this video on the same day, essentially. It's currently like 9 PM, and I just wanted to add some additional notes, because in those couple of days, a couple of things did actually happen. The most notable, obviously, I drank beer. And it wasn't good. It was good to some extent, but I think I overdid it a little bit too much, because the thing I drank had like 18% volume, and last time I took like a 6.4 volume. I'm not too sure, but it was something way lighter than what I took, and even till now, like a complete day later, I still feel a bit of the alcohol being in my system. So next time when I drink myself away, I'm gonna look on the volume. I'm gonna probably take something that's like 15 or something. I think 15 would be perfect. Yeah, I think at least. I would hope so, you know, and if that's not enough, I'll probably take something funnier. Or just a wine bottle on reserve, just in case it doesn't hit the same way. Anyways, I played a bit of Backrooms Escape together with my friends, my homies, that are like all fucking awesome and shit, because they've always been there, you know, they've always existed and whatever. And just in general, they've always just been kind of real. And also when I was drunk, I was like extremely honest with people, and I was extremely... I was a new person, essentially, you know, that opened a lot of stuff about me. Anyways, guys, don't do drugs. Also, I smoke weed on Christmas, but honestly, I didn't really feel anything. Probably because it's the first time that I haven't smoked anything, so I'll smoke weed again until I feel something. And when I do, it's probably going to be my last time, because I don't want to kill my lung that much. Also, honorable mention, my laptop broke like in September. Worst time of my life, honestly. I really like realized how like worthless some of the times that I can't spend on my laptop. Like, there's no productivity that comes out of me not being on my laptop. I mean, It should be pretty, logical, but it's pretty depressing. Anyways, my bucket list. I've actually developed a good bucket list for my life, essentially, before I want to die. Some of the things I don't think I can actually complete, so I might just put it off my bucket list for good measure. I mean, if you've completed everything you wanted to do in life, and you're not at the place you want to be, even though you've already done everything, there is no real point. Even though I kind of doubt that if I really do everything I wanted to do, that I'm going to still be standing at the place I am right now, because it's just such an, unbelievable. But yeah, I guess that's kind of all I had to say. Until sometime when I'll upload again, I don't know exactly. Also, in general, I do want to, say, that I don't want no sympathy over my life being shit and ass. Something I've realized is that I don't really need the sympathy, or I don't really want the sympathy, because, I mean, realistically speaking, again, people die daily. Anyways, that's sort of all I have to say. Again, if you let me know what your year was down in the comment section below. You can write a very extensively and long comment. I will read it. And yeah, that's all I would like to say. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.